pick up things on the second play.
I do appreciate like the sense of humor going throughout the whole thing. Like that's a very nice touch.
Thank you.
Completely.
Yeah, we're really doing our best to create a tone that's like anime meets Arrested Development.
I love it.
I love that.
Yeah, you didn't go like the super grimdark like DC route with it, which I appreciate.
Well, I think when we first started in 2018, like really opening up the cinematic universe, because there's stuff in here from my like college days, so it's like it's really like I use footage from everything that's ever been done for Justice for Hire very intentionally, because really what we're doing is we're focused on showing lore, that there's actually like a foundation to this vigilante justice narrative, and that as a former vigilante, I realized that my character realized that it didn't work out. Nothing's really truly changed if you're Batman sitting on a corner of a building with your cape in the rain. Like if he's still looking at crime years later, and he's a billionaire, and he's got all these assets that he could deploy in a different way other than punching. I love it, like they say in Batman Lego, he's like punching poor people. I love that. It's such a hilarious thing to say. It's like what?
It's so on the nose though. Like, excuse the pun. It's accurate.
It really is, and it's like there's got to be a better way, and I don't think that punching is wrong. Like that's like I'm a martial artist, so like punching is part of it, and being able to take a punch and punch back to me is actually a big part of it. But it's not the solution necessarily. And to be able to say, hey, you know what, like we're going to fight, and we're going to find a better way, but fighting's always the last resort. And I love the way Jackie Chan handles it, where he's always running away from the fight. He's always trying to stop the fight. And I think that there's so much action to be had with that mentality of de-escalation, and people coming together and saying, you know what, hey, we're going to step up and like do our best to quell the uprising of whatever threat there is, but if we need to, we can, throw hands.
I love Jackie Chan and the way he does things, and it's so funny because even with the cartoon that he did, there was that constant running, and you're just running with him, and he's just trying to get to where he needs to go or do what he needs to do.
And he also makes brilliant use of the scenery when he's running away, which is always great to watch.
Yeah, that's the thing that I'm really seeking from a lot of action, and because we're not seeing it, I think it's not. Let me put it this way: there are folks who do Hong Kong style action cinema really, really well in the States. Eric Jacobus is one of them, and we've done a bunch of the superhero kung fu extravaganza for many years with Eric, and I would consider him, to me, he should have been cast as Daredevil. That's how like amazing Eric is, and I say it all the time. And he does a lot of like Jackie Chan style stuff, and I'm like, very brilliant guy. And Jackie setting up the scene, as you mentioned, being able to utilize the environment, those are very particular, very calculated choices as a filmmaker that Jackie makes. And so, I love that. I love what John Wick is doing, and you just have so much appreciation for the action genre, but I really haven't seen the level of like thought and empathy that I'm personally seeking in my own life. And to be able to say, you know what, let's shoot action that's more thoughtful. And I think one who's done a great job is the Sherlock Holmes movies. If you saw the Sherlock Holmes, both of them, first 1 and 2, there's a lot of thought in the actual execution of any move. And to me that was so interesting, because it's like, well, hold on for a second. If there's that narration gives the audience context, and when you give the audience context, it feels more intense. And so, or it feels, at the very least, it's a different type of intensity than an average fight scene, or at the very least an average good fight scene. I think that there's a bunch of different ways to build intensity. I think Avengers Endgame is probably one of the greatest examples we have in history of Captain America getting Thor's hammer. and everyone just flipping out, and those viral videos of I remember like tearing up, like I had tears running down my face.
Greatest movie to see in the theater.
Oh my god! It was
everybody in the audience had like simultaneously went like, "Whoa!"
It's like, oh my god!
Yeah, it was amazing.
But being able to build up to great moments to me takes so much true design, and what we're doing with this Story So Far video. And what we've been doing with our Hero season, from the 5 episodes we released last year from November to December, is really doing our best to set the foundation, the tone. This is everything I'm saying really leads back to your comment on tone and the comedy that we're bringing into it. But it's not comedy like ha ha ha. Isn't this funny that we're doing this? Like the intention is to be like, hey, this is real, and we actually have to find solutions. And there's a lot of humor in this pain. There's a lot of humor in this struggle. And if you just look at it from a certain way, we can feel a little bit more light about it and actually find a solution. And that to me is the intention.
It feels very much like it's not like slapstick, but it's more of just like gallows humor, where it's just like, the situation is terrible, but we have to laugh about it. Otherwise, we'll just go insane.
That's great. I love that. It is terrible. And we have to laugh.
Yeah.
Otherwise... we will self-destruct.
It's so funny.
Otherwise, everything's terrible.
It's so funny though because I feel like what the industry has turned into now is just dark, gritty stuff, and you sit there going, "Okay, yeah, well, it's dark, it's gritty, but I don't want dark gritty."
Yeah, but like I have dark and gritty in real life. I don't need it in my fiction as well.
I do.
I knew you were gonna say that, Nat.
You know